Hey guys, so I saw this before I went to work. I didn't get to watch it, but this is Sylvanas and Anduin epilogue cutscene for patch 9.2.5. I don't know what to expect. I don't know if it's good. I haven't looked at anything about it. I just saw it in the morning when I woke up. I'm like, okay, I'll react to it when I get home. So let's get into it.
Why are you here, Anduin? Your kingdom and your friends are awaiting your return.
My friends. The ones I almost killed. They believe my hands are clean. But they don't feel clean.
It is perilous to confuse what you are made to do with what you choose to do.
How can I not when it all blurs together? It was so horrific and exhilarating. And it sickens me to think that satisfaction may have been mine.
Ah, so that's why you've come. You fear you might not be who you thought you were.
I'm starting to wonder if I ever knew. For the first time in my life, I'm afraid that if I call on the light, it won't answer. If I've no trust in myself, how can I expect my kingdom to trust me? To put their faith in me when mine has faltered?
Must you bear that weight?
A king does not have a choice.
No choice? I thought you believed in free will.
I need time to think about many things.
Anduin, I have faced who I was and accepted what I've done. Now, the work begins.
Yes, it does. Farewell, Sylvanas Windrunner. Until our paths cross again.
Farewell, little lion.
So first, I love how they're doing the cutscenes now, rather than just like, their actual like in-game kind of cutscenes. Absolutely love it. We knew Anduin was gonna have some problems, like, oh, I'm not a king, and blah blah blah, and then he's gonna leave Turelion as kind of regent, just as Bolvar kind of acted as when Varian was gone. But it's nice to see Sylvanas back, like the real Sylvanas, like the Ranger General Sylvanas. I mean, they don't have to make her so soft-spoken like that, though, because we know she wasn't soft-spoken like that. She had her opinions. She spoke a lot more, but I guess she's trying to comfort him or something. But ever since she's pretty much come back as Ranger General Sylvanas, she's had like this really soft, mellow kind of just sort of voice going with her. So hopefully she doesn't just continue talking like that, because that'll get really annoying. I want to actually hear her talk, not just whisper the entire time. I don't want to hear her talk like that. But just the fact that Anduin was like, yeah, I don't know how much of it was me. I don't know how much of it was me being controlled. But the fact that I did feel exhilarated and satisfaction, like, what does that say about me? I mean, I think that's amazing. He's not the first character who does that. There are plenty of characters who have been controlled to an extent. I mean, look at Arthas. You know, it's like how much was Arthas and how much of it was actually, you know, the domination magic. And that's just when it first happened. When he picked up, actually, even before he picked up Frostmourne. But once he picked up Frostmourne, it was, you know, he was doing things he wouldn't have done. And, you know, it's the same thing. He probably felt exhilarated. He felt powerful. He felt good. You know, he's thinking he's fighting for this noble cause, saving his land. But it's like he's doing all these terrible things. But it's like, in his mind, it feels good. You know, so it's like, how much of it was actual domination and how much was it just maybe bringing out that part of him that wanted to act that way? Because that's the thing. It's like people, it's not within anyone can end up like Anduin, you know, being controlled and being this and having their darkness come out. So then you think, well, how much of it was that magic, you know, the mind control, but how much of it was actually just the darkness in me being brought out? So I think that's a great question that he's asking. Sylvanas doesn't really have an answer for it because it was the same thing. You know, she was kind of under the, not under the influence. She was being swayed, I guess you could say, by the jailer. She wasn't under domination magic. She knew what she was doing. But in a sense that, you know, she was working with him because she believed in what he was doing. So she's doing these terrible things. But we know that the Sylvanas she was didn't really have a limit to what she would do. Now that she's complete again, she can kind of look back and say, okay, how much was it that I believed? You know, I did all these terrible things because I believed what he was saying, or I just did these terrible things because I wanted to do these terrible things because that's who, you know, brought it out in me. So Sylvanas can only say, you know, that you know, that's something he kind of has to find out and he has to ask himself. And I think the send-off for Sylvanas, because she's going to be here a while, probably for the next couple expansions. I think the Titan Pantheon will be back before she is. We'll probably need their help and Illidan's help before we need her help again. So they're not going to send her to the Maw and be like, oh yeah, you got to release all the souls and then have her back in the next expansion. I don't think it's going to happen that way. I think we have a better chance of seeing Illidan and even Sargeras, since they're, you know, he's up there being taken care of by Illidan, his brothers and sister. We have a better chance of seeing them than we do Sylvanas right now. So it'll probably take a couple of expansions or however long. I mean, there's lots of souls in the Maw, lots of souls that need to be sent up to the Arbiter, the new Arbiter. So she's got a long job ahead of her, a long duty. So, under the watchful eye of Tyrann's owl. But I was at the point that I love her eyes now. Just the blue, just oh my god. I mean, I've always thought even undead Sylvanas is absolutely gorgeous, and everyone says the same thing. It's like she's gorgeous. You know, she's not like an undead where like her skin's falling off and she's retained her body. She's just bluish, purple, or whatever color they decide to make her. She's been purple, she's been blue, she's been like a greenish blue. And so right here she's like a light blue, and she's like almost looks like she's got a cold or something. But she's completely intact, and they just make her as gorgeous as possible. And she should be. She's a blood elf. So, but looks like Anduin has a lot of thinking to do. Meanwhile, Turellian is going to be taken over, and well, there's some whispers that we've heard from, I believe it was Il'gynoth, that might hint that Turellian might go a little cray-cray, or allow something bad to happen at least. So, we'll have to see, because most of the whispers have happened. But it was like the golden one sits on the vacant throne or something. So the golden one is Torellian. The vacant throne is now in, Stormwind, because Anduin doesn't believe he can be king. He doesn't know how he can lead his people when he's done all these terrible things. So the throne is now vacant, and Torellian is a golden one. So might be set up for next expansion, because all the things the whispers have come true at sooner or later. But anyways, it was a really good cinematic. I'm glad they're doing it in this style, not just having them just idly standing there and just just the emotes that they have in game. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about Sylvanas. I mean, people were like, yep, we're totally shipping them now. It's like there's some sort of tension between them. But we know that Sylvanas loves the Thanos, so... Sorry, Anduin. Maybe next time. Maybe if you become an undead, you'll have some, be able to fight for her love. Anyways, yeah, that's it for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later. Bye, guys.